All right, so let's jump to the other side, Shane. Let's kick it over to Columbia, where Shane Beamer met with the media here on Tuesday to talk about this game. And my word, Shane, was he talking up the Bulldogs? And he said this is the greatest roster Georgia's ever had. He notes the fact that he was a coach down there when they played for the national championship. He even referenced Jordan Davis on that amazing play where he runs all the way across the field and makes a play 10 yards down the field. Hell, UAB got a first down on that play, and the Georgia coaches went nuts because of the hustle by the big man Jordan Davis. I mean, he's just an animal. I don't know if South Carolina's got anyone that can block number 99, but
no.
They
don't, Mike. They're going to need a lot.
How much do you think, if at all, Coach Beamer, talks to his dad about, inspiring his team to overcome the odds and just racking his brain? I'm thinking of the Water Boy when he's got that green notebook with all the secret plays. Frank Beamer's got that laying around somewhere, and Shane has got to have that thing borrowed this week, don't you think?
Oh yeah, no, all of them, man, and not to mention, don't overlook the relationship he has with Lincoln. Don't think he's not reached out to him. So I think he's made a ton of calls this week. He's made it would not surprise me if him and Frank ain't up every night just thinking about some things they can pull out come Saturday. But I don't know, man. I don't think Kirby ain't either, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's kick it over to Shane Beamer. Shane, who he had a really funny story here about what he remembers from South Carolina upsetting Georgia 2 years ago, and just on how incredible this Georgia Bulldogs team is this year.
There is a reason they were picked to win the SEC East, and the talent just jumps off the tape at you. Obviously, they've had some great players in the past. I've coached against a lot of them, Matthew Stafford and Noshawn Marino and A.J. Green and those teams. I was a part of a really talented team that played for the national championship with Roquan Smith and Nick Chubb and Sony Michel and those guys. But when you just look at their starters on all three phases, but then you just look at the backups, I don't know of a more talented team ever to play at Georgia. When you look at that, I mean, I had read over the summer that the defensive back, the secondary was an area of concern, and all I see are those guys just playing everybody in man coverage, and nobody can complete a pass. I watched their defense. I think they forced 18 punts already this season in 2 games, which, if my math is correct, that's going to put them on pace for over 100, which is an ungodly amount of defensive stops. Like usually at the end of the season, a defense may force 70 or some punts. They've forced an average of 9 the last 2 games. I'm sitting there watching tape all day yesterday, got in at 5:30 in the morning and was all day watching tape like the rest of our coaches, and thought I had thought I had a good feel for the personnel. Then here comes another guy at the end of the game against UAB that's not even listed on their 2 deep, that's making plays that would start a lot of places in the SEC. There's a play where Jordan Davis, their unbelievable defensive lineman against UAB, where the UAB quarterback runs Jordan Davis for Georgia is outside the hash into the UAB sideline, and the quarterback for UAB starts running towards the Georgia sideline, and the defensive lineman, Davis, all 340 pounds of him, runs the quarterback down and makes the tackle on Georgia's sideline. And it's one of the most amazing individual efforts and plays I've ever seen. So they are really, really good, and will be a big challenge for us. But our guys are certainly excited to go play. We've had a couple of great days of practice, and looking forward to the challenge of going in there against such a talented and well-coached team. So the hype for them is real, and we're excited to go play.
Shane, after watching the Georgia film, I'm sure you saw the Clemson game. How much of a concern is your pass blocking when it comes to Georgia's defensive line?
Yeah, I think a lot has been made of the pass blocking, which is a bunch of crap. Regardless, I've got tons of respect for what PFF says and all that. PFF doesn't much respect for them. They help us. We rely on their stuff. They don't know when our quarterback goes up to the line of scrimmage, makes a protection call to slide the offensive line one way because he thinks the pressure's coming, which means a tackle for us is going to slide one way, and then he realizes that the quarterback guessed wrong and there's a free guy coming outside of him. So to the average eye, people are going to say, oh, my gosh, what is that offensive tackle doing? That offensive tackle is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing, and he's trying to take the hit off the quarterback because the quarterback slid the line the wrong way. So have we been perfect on the pass pro? No. Is it as bad as some people want to analyze and say that it's been? Absolutely not. And then so on all of us, quarterback, running backs, receivers, tight ends, offensive linemen. So to answer your question, David, it's a concern every week, but certainly against these guys because they're really good up front, and all you got to do is turn on the tape of the Clemson game, and they're swallowing up Clemson's quarterback, it seems, on every play when he drops back to pass. So it'll be a huge challenge for us, a lot more than what we have faced the last 2 weeks, obviously. But it's like I told our guys this morning, I mean, it's SEC football. There's you better strap it on for the next however many 9 SEC games, 8 SEC games that we got here the rest of the season, because it gets real. And if you don't want to play against the best, then you shouldn't be playing in this conference.
You've been pretty forthcoming about the fact that you followed the program from afar. What do you remember about the game against Georgia 2 years ago, watching that from where you were? What were your kind of reactions to that? And do you use that game from 2 years ago as a reminder that, hey, that team was a big underdog as well? You can go in and do something similar.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it. We were playing Texas at the same time that day. I think I may have told some of y'all the story, but our game against Texas, which is an unbelievable game, not to change the subject, but if you ever get a chance to go to that game in the Cotton Bowl, do it. But we were playing Texas, which is a huge rival for us at Oklahoma. Georgia and South Carolina were playing the same day. We won. Jalen Hurts was our quarterback, had a great win against Texas, and my family runs on the field after the game, and I'm thinking they're going to be excited because we just beat Texas, and swear to goodness, the first words out of my kids and my wife's mouth is, South Carolina just beat Georgia. South Carolina just beat Georgia. And I thought Oklahoma just beating Texas. I'm more worried about that one. But that's what I remember about it, and obviously a great win. I don't talk about it. We haven't talked about it. I mean, we may mention it, but to me it has from a lot of the people are different. The coaching staff here is different for the most part. Some of the players were here that day. Some of them weren't. You know, obviously, I think our guys know you went over there a couple years ago, and I saw where Kirby said yesterday. A lot of that was because of Georgia, you know, the fact that South Carolina won that game. But again, it doesn't have a big impact, I don't think, on this year's game. I mean, all
right, Chase, so the Gamecock blood runs deep in his Beamer family before they even were head coach down there in Columbia. But, you know, that just gives you an idea of just what this game means to Beamer and his family. You know what?
Yeah, definitely, man.